Hey guys, Greg here with Kzoo Keto, and it's what you've been waiting for. We are bringing you our ice cream video. We have 3 ice cream makers here in front of us, and this recipe is usable by all 3 of them, or you can mix it by hand, and I'll walk you through every single step. We have the My Pint version. We also have the larger version from Dash called the Everyday Ice Cream. And if you still have one of these old things laying around, the Cuisinart, you can use that too. So when we released our ice cream and chaffle video, we did ice cream sandwiches, we did chaffle bowls. So if you come from that video, you made it to this video, you'll know what we're talking about. If you haven't watched that video, then welcome, and you should probably check that video out after you watch how to make the ice cream, because we talk about how to make your chaffles, either a bowl or into like an ice cream sandwich. So definitely check that video out as well. So I'm going to show you how to do 2 different types of vanilla ice cream. Now these ice creams, you can add additional things to them. You can add chocolate chips, you can add peanut butter. If you want to make peanut butter ice cream, you can add pecans and some butter, make butter pecan. And those recipes are all out there, and I'd be happy to share them with you if you are interested in them. But you can also experiment yourself, just taking the base vanilla and moving on from there. All right guys, so our dairy-free option is brought to you by coconut milk. Now, I know what you're thinking. I hate coconut. There's no way I'm gonna make this ice cream. But I will tell you this, Stacy doesn't like coconut either, and she loves this ice cream. So my suggestion is to give it a try before you... So let's make this. Okay, so coconut milk is kind of important. First of all, you want unsweetened. We get the Thai Kitchen Organic. We get it at Costco because it's cheaper if you buy it in like a 12 pack. But what you do want is the full fat stuff. We have confectioner's sugar, also known as Lakanto monk fruit sweetener, which has actually got erythritol in it. That's what this is. We blend our own, so this is. Vanilla, because that's what we're making. We're making vanilla. And this is a great base recipe, so you can definitely tweak and change things as you wish to make enhancements. Like for example, if you want chocolate, leave out the vanilla, or maybe add it in if you're like Stacy, and add in cocoa powder. And then the amounts are kind of varied. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you how to do the vanilla, and then you can add stuff in if you want. You're also gonna need a whisk, because you'll see in a minute. So we're just gonna take our coconut milk, we're gonna put it in here, and we gotta beat it. And it's gonna make some really nasty noises that's gonna make Stacy laugh. So if the camera starts jerking, you know that the 12-year-old Stacy is currently in activated mode.
That's so nasty.
Oh, that's better, right? All right, so there is our, I guess I'll do the camera's jerky right now. So, empty can. Now we're gonna add in our 1/3 cup of granulated, now powdered erythritol, monk fruit sweetener. You can use liquid stevia if you prefer, although you might need to adjust some of the other liquid ingredients a little bit if you do. By the way, these containers are down below if you're interested in those. They work great. Vanilla. So this is another one of those things where you can adjust based on your tastes. I say 1 to 2 teaspoons. I personally prefer 1.5 teaspoons. But if you like a little bit more vanilla, you can add a little bit more vanilla. If you like a little less, you can take a little out. It's really your call. Now we're gonna whisk. And we're gonna break down this coconut fat and blend it to a similar consistency. So Stacy, why don't you come in here and we'll get this broken down. The idea here is you want to make sure that the granulated and or powdered erythritol is broken down. You can use granulated, it might provide a little bit more of a texture to it. So if we use powdered, generally it doesn't. We're just going to whisk it all together, and we're going to want to make sure that that is down all combined. So once you get this to the desired consistency, which it actually doesn't take long, you can see the bubbles kind of popping up as you're whisking through. And once you get it fairly smooth, consistency is going to be, very liquidy. So we're going to put a top on. Now this is where things could vary a little bit for you. I suggest trying it my way first, and if you want consistency difference, then obviously you can do that. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this, we're gonna put this in the freezer for at least 1 hour, right? And no more than 3 hours. So put this in the freezer for 1 hour and we'll be back. All right guys, now for the dairy version. You're gonna need your old friend, heavy whipping cream. You're gonna need 1/3 cup of the powdered erythritol. Like I said, we use this, which is the granulated stuff, and we just grind it ourselves in our spice grinder. You're gonna need 1 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So, a little bit different ratios on this one, but cream is a little sweeter and it's a little thicker. And when it is processed, it reduces a little bit. We're using 3 cups of heavy cream. To that, we're gonna add our powdered erythritol and our vanilla.
A little heavy-handed there.
Yeah, a little heavy-handed. 1.5 teaspoons.
That's
We're also going to add a pinch of salt, which unfortunately I didn't show you in the last one, but it's there. Then we're going to give that a good mix.
All right, so heel.
And we're basically looking for some of the same consistency. You're going to see some air bubbles popping up. And again, this is kind of the reason why we use the powdered erythritol, because it mixes a little better, and you don't get any of that graininess in the.
But you can use the liquid if you prefer.
You can. Same thing with this. We're going to cover it, and then we're going to take it and we're going to place it into the freezer for a minimum of 1 hour. Ready for the freezer. All right, guys. First up is the Pint. So this little ice cream maker you can get on Amazon. You can also check in Kohl's, and Bed Bath & Beyond, I believe, also carries them. It's $30 on Amazon, which is amazing. But what is amazing is that it comes with this little bowl that you put in the freezer, and with it also comes the little paddle and a motor. So the motor connects in here like this. The freezer bowl sits in your cup like this. It comes with its own spoon, and you simply put it on and it locks in place, and you flip the motor on. Okay, so you'll see this in the video coming up. All right guys, next up is our everyday ice cream maker. Now this is about the same price as the mini. In fact, I think it's literally the same price. What this does is it makes a quart rather than a pint. So if you've been following along, 2 pints equals 1 quart. So this is basically the equivalent of making 2. So if you got you and your husband or wife or whomever, somebody special, and you want to make them ice cream, this is a good option because you guys can kind of both get a pint out of it. So what comes with this is you got your paddle and your bowl, and if you buy this version, it actually comes with a popsicle maker as well that you can make frozen treats in here. So we're not demoing this today. If you guys want a video on us demoing this and putting it with some of our sweet treats, let us know in the comments below, and we'll talk through that. So what's really cool about this thing is you basically put everything on here, and then they have a little pour spout that goes through here. So you basically just plug it in, start it turning, and then add your ingredients in, and it's good to go. So anyway, I think our ice cream is probably ready to go. So let's get it out and let's make some ice cream. All right, so this is the coconut variety, non-dairy, and you can see that it's creamy, and it's starting to set up just a little bit. So now you can stir this like this. And if you don't have an ice cream maker, you can go ahead and just put this right back in the freezer after you mix it up like this. As you can see, it's starting to thicken. All right, so I'm just transferring this to an easier pour option, just because I'm going to use both of them. So I'm just trying to get everything out of this, because Stacy will get mad at me if I make a big mess of the kitchen. You can stir it up a little bit in there too. All right, now we got our ice cream prepper. We put our paddle on, and now we're just going to add our ice cream here. We're going to fill it up to about 3/4 of the way full. Okay, and then we are going to turn our paddle on.
You turn it on before you put it in?
You turn it on before you put it in, and then you simply lower it down, and you can see There's little notches on the side that will catch and hold it in place. Okay, so this rest of this other serving here, or other pint, we're gonna add some of our Keto Collagen Chocolate MCT powder to it. Now, the one thing with these things that's interesting is that when you use the erythritol sweetener, it's gonna get really hard. You probably had other ice cream that's got really hard. Adding a little MCT oil to it really makes a huge difference. And if you get the flavored one like this, that even comes with collagen, it's even better. So I'm just gonna kind of push this in here, and that is about 1.5 tablespoons, because it's only half. Normally if you do like 1/4 cup. And I'm just gonna mix it together, and I might even grab the whisk to see how it folds. I'm just gonna kind of fold it in and make sure it's blended effectively. It's really important that it's super cold when you put it into these mixers. So if you have the Cuisinart, it's not nearly as important because the bigger volume is gonna allow it to freeze more quickly. But these little ones, they kind of need a little extra help. That's why we put it in the freezer for this. All right, so that's incorporated pretty well. Again, about 3/4 of the way, which that coconut milk is perfect for this because it's just the right amount. Because it's going to add a little volume as it spins. Now, I'm going to take this, same thing, turn it on, and drop it on. 20 minutes on that one. We'll see you guys then. Not all of us are fans of the ice cream maker. So it's been 20 minutes, exactly. 20 and a half minutes. So I got my 3 containers here. These are about 6 ounces each. These are great. At least these will be linked below. These are great for ice cream. Let me get the box. Comes like this. A little mini ice cream set. 6 ounces, which is perfect for serving. And it's also fantastic for portion control so that you know exactly how much you're actually eating, right? Which I believe this fills up 2 of them. So if you don't want a pint, if you only want a cup, we got you covered. So we're gonna take this off. So this is the vanilla. You can see how creamy it is. We got our spoon here. I'm just gonna kind of spoon it in. Trying to clear off this paddle as best as possible. We don't want anything to waste. Now this is consistency of about soft serve. It's gonna be a little thicker. Melts very fast. And you can see how it's kind of pushed up a little bit. Right? So this is a great spot where if you want to add like chocolate chips or anything like that, this is where you'd want to do that, or any additional additives. That's not intense flavor for the whole thing. I prefer mine straight up vanilla, so I'm going to go ahead and get myself a portion out of this. So Stacy, on the other hand, she wants to add a few chocolate chips to it. So these are the Bake Believe, what is it, milk chocolate?
Semi-sweet.
Semi-sweet. And
One
these,
net carb.
1 net carb, and these will actually be on as well. How many is it, Stacy?
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon, which is about what, 15 chips?
Yep.
So we're just gonna add about 15 chips in there. And then we're gonna give them a mix. So I'm mixing this up a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and throw it in here for Stacy. Stacy's doing the non-dairy. Now, how much do you love coconut?
I don't.
You don't like coconut at all, right?
Most of the time when I eat anything with coconut in it, I feel like I am eating sunscreen.
And that is made pretty much out of coconut milk. Go ahead and
Yes.
give it a taste. Now it does have some additional additives because that's the way you like it. But
I do have a chocolate chip in here. Chocolate chip got hard.
yeah, it does.
But yes, it's very good.
Very good.
Very good. I love
Do
this.
you taste any coconut at all?
I do not taste coconut.
Yeah. So give it a try, guys. Non-dairy, the coconut. Give it a whirl.
And because it is coconut, instead of heavy cream, it's lower carb.
It's true story. All right. So I got my straight vanilla. Now, what I've done a few times is I've added some peppermint to this, a very little bit, tweak it to how you want. Add some chocolate chips. Mint chocolate chip ice cream, guys. Keep the red, green food coloring out though. I have heard of putting avocado in it to give the greenness, and you don't really get any avocado. So that might be something I have to try. If you guys are interested in that one, let me know. I'll have to research a little bit more though. So good. It's very melty. It's gonna melt very quickly, but if you throw it in the freezer, give it another 30 minutes or so, and it'll actually be more of the consistency of regular, harder ice cream.
I like it just the way it is because
I do too.
I'm more of a fan of soft serve.
Mm-hmm. I like this as well. It's the consistency of soft serve in this case, but it has the full taste of like non-soft serve, if that makes any sense. These containers are also really cool because you can also throw them in the microwave. So if you have it frozen and you take it out, you can pop it in the microwave for like, do it on medium power, but for about probably 15-20 seconds and test it, and the ice cream is going to be perfect, which is great for trying to warm up any non-sugar based ice cream.
And they're also dishwasher safe for anybody that's wondering about that.
Exactly. It's chocolate time. All right, so here's our chocolate. Again, still the consistency of soft serve.
Looks nummy.
Super nummy. Put that on the counter there. Again, just kind of scrape the sides, try to get it incorporated. Again, if you want to add chips or anything to this, you can do that. Okay, so who on keto misses sprinkles? So Stacy does. She picked the Stoka sprinkles out. This would be a great option. There's a half a carb per teaspoon, was it?
Teaspoon.
Yeah. So you can kind of just eyeball it.
Sprinkles!
And now you have sprinkles. These will also be linked below, guys. Some of the Stacy finds some really cool stuff out there we'd like to share with you guys. So let's have Stacy test the chocolate out. All right, now Stacy's trying the chocolate we made with that keto powder.
With the sprinkles.
With the sprinkles. She's excited. She got a little extra lump there in her step.
It's a very light chocolate.
You can add more if you want a heavier, but
yeah, it's very light. I like it like that though.
Mm-hmm.
Because I find that sometimes when you get chocolate ice cream from wherever,
or if you make cocoa powder with it, it gets a little heavy.
It tends to be a bit strong, and it can get gritty too.
Yep.
But no, it's good. And these sprinkles are awesome. They're crunchy. And they taste like sprinkles.
Taste like sprinkles.
Like sprinkles. Keto sprinkles.
Keto sprinkles. Taste the keto rainbow. Go ahead and show you guys the cream version. All right, now. So about an hour, you can see the cream is starting to harden just a little bit. It's going to be a lot different consistency than what the coconut is. But that is okay. So I'm going to put this in a measuring cup like we did last time, so it's easier to pour. This bowl is very cold.
You got it all over your shirt?
No, boy. That doesn't surprise me. I'm kind of surprised I haven't got it over my shirt before now.
Okay,
all right.
Right all over the butter.
All over the butter. All right, so we got our ice cream mixture, and we have our everyday ice cream bowl, and we have the top with the paddle. So we're gonna go ahead and just put this in here like so, and we lock this in place. Remember guys, this is a quart. All right, get it plugged in, and as it indicates here is you wanna make sure that this ice cream is on before it starts churning. And then we simply add in the ingredients as we go.
This one's a lot quieter than this one.
It is a lot quieter.
Hi guys, so we're at 10 minutes here. Now, the longer you leave it in the freezer, the less time this thing is going to need to turn it into ice cream.
Alright, so this one goes both ways, and as you can hear, when the ice cream gets a little bit difficult for it to manage, it starts twisting back and forth. So just be mindful of that, don't freak. But it usually means it's about ready, so it's been about 20 minutes. Alright, 20 minutes and done. We're going to go ahead and open this bad boy up. Pull this off slowly. See how creamy and thick it is? Yeah, the first time I made it, you know, started flipping back and forth. It was kind of weird. But, and the weird part is that the manual doesn't actually mention anything about it either. So, strange, right? All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and transfer it over into our ice cream storage container, because the coconut milk stuff we kind of like soft serve. The non-dairy stuff we kind of like more like soft serve, but this we prefer it to harden up a little bit more because it's so creamy. So we kind of make both of these, but I think generally everyone kind of likes the coconut stuff better, which is interesting because I'm the only one in the house that really likes coconut. Well, Morgan does a little bit too. All right, guys, so got my little quart size container here filled up, and we're gonna put it in the freezer. Now that we got our ice cream in the freezer, getting a little hardened up, we're gonna go ahead and clean this up. And you can see there's a buildup. You might have noticed I put the towel underneath it too, and that's because the bottom is also extremely cold, and I don't want it to be on the counter because my counters are a little sensitive to that. It also seems to help keep the cold a little bit better too. Okay, so just make sure you use warm water. You can use cold water, but warm seems to do a little better. Just make sure you don't use hot water because it can have some effects. And you can kind of see the ice cream kind of peel off. We'll get this all washed up. It comes right out, super easy. We've never made an used ice cream maker before. Super simple. And then once it's completely clean, it'll be wet. You want to let it dry because you don't want to put it back in the freezer wet. That'll damage it. You saw me mention the small ones for portion control. If you have a family as big as ours, sometimes you need a little bigger help. And these things work great. This is a quart-size container. It's basically the same company. It calls the silicone lids. It is microwave safe, dishwasher safe, all that stuff too. I think Stacy got these for like 17 bucks on Amazon. Definitely have the link below. We use them whenever we make ice cream. Get the ice cream back out and let's see what she looks like. All right, guys, so 2 hours later, this is what we got. And as you can see, let Stacy get in real close, as it is a lot firmer and creamier. I definitely recommend letting it sit for a couple hours. Erilyn, she really liked it a lot better after doing that. And Stacy too. Let's get Stacy over here. She can try it. All right. So now, which vanilla do you prefer? It's a toss-up.
Well, if we're talking about carb-wise, I prefer the coconut milk.
Yes, coconut milk does have less carbs. We'll have the carbs for both of them in the description of the video.
But they're both good.
They're both good. But they're a little bit different too.
Well, this one's better as a harder ice cream. You know what it needs though? It needs the chocolate chips.
It needs the chocolate chips, so Stacy ran out. She's thinking about going to Walmart and getting some. She can eat the ice cream tomorrow.
10 o'clock at night. I need to stop eating this.
Yes, you do. Alright guys, so that concludes our keto ice cream video. So all this stuff will be linked down below for your convenience to be able to pick it up. If you're interested in any additional ice cream videos, definitely let us know. Let us know what your favorite type of ice cream is. And if you tried making keto ice cream before at home, or even regular ice cream at home, if you made it before, let us know. We're really interested to find out. I hope you guys give these ice cream flavors a try. Like I said, they are very good, especially the non-dairy version. You just wouldn't even expect that the coconut milk is going to taste as good as it does. So if you do try them, please let us know. And since Stacy's not here, I get to say it. Until next time, stay keto.